Okay, welcome. Chris here with the trades. Going to go over seven seven swing trades here that I'm looking at for next week. Looking first here at the market. This is SPY, as you can see. SPY on Friday actually gapped down from Thursday's big wash day, gapped down and ran straight up. Looking at a red candle here because, in fact, it did close below Thursday's close. Bounced straight off of this trend line. Beautiful move. I actually had written in this trend line back when it tested back here, back on November uh, 7. And it held perfectly, bounced straight up and moved straight up off that trend line. So we're going to look for continuation plays for most of these for next week. And the first one I'm looking at here for me for next week is none other than Intel. Intel. Intel's been moving straight up, nice strong stock. Um, this one meets my criteria for a swing trade long, which what I'm looking at here, first and foremost, is the strong companies with good fundamentals that look good for long-term investments. And then what I'm doing is turning to the chart. I'm looking for an entry. So I'm looking for a pullback into some natural level of support, which we do see here. Intel bounced straight off of this wick from a few weeks ago, and I'm sorry, the stochastic is down in the lower portion of this band. This is what I'm looking for: a strong stock that's moved up, that's going to come back, relax the price down into a natural level of support where I can find an entry and try to capture the move up, short term or even long term over the next several days, weeks, however it plays out. So Intel is the first one on my list. And I'm going to see, risk wise down into this natural level of support, about 4% or so. I'm going to be a buyer into this range here. I give it a little room, maybe down into this lower level where it wicked back here. Then look for the move back up into this range here. 6% or so would be a nice gain, first initial target. And obviously, we'll see if it wants to come up and start making new highs, which would be up to 20% or so. So Intel looks good for me for next week. I like that one. Next on the list for me is Wave. Okay, this one did what a lot of these stocks did on Friday, which was finding some support and bouncing. So I'm going to be looking for a continuation, just like SPY. I'm going to be looking for a continuation, see where we open on Monday, of course, right? But I'm going to be a buyer from Friday's close down into this natural level of support. It's pretty wide, but then so are the potential upside here on this one. So it's pretty wide. I'm going to give it down to at least this level here, where this green sort of band is. But I am expecting this and some of the other ones to just move straight up or move up pretty quickly. We'll see how the things work out on Monday, but it looks like the stochastics looking like it wants to move back up. It did find some support and took a move on Friday, like a lot of the stocks did in the market. And looking for a continuation up into these ranges here and up into all time, well, not all time, but more recent highs would be a really nice gain, about 20% or so. So also on the list for me is IESC. Okay, IESC Holdings. This one super strong. Really like this one a lot. Uh, did what Wave did and what the market did on Friday. Found gap down, finding some support and bouncing straight up. So perhaps we do for a continuation. Perhaps so. But I'm going to be a buyer into this range, into this 4 or 5% range. I'd be a buyer here, looking for the move back up for the continuation. Of course, if it wants to just fail and drop down, then like all of these, if it gaps down and stays down, probably not interested. Um, and if it breaks much below these support levels that we're seeing on these charts, then I'm probably just going to get out and try to find another stock. There's tons of them. I'm going through seven that meet my criteria, but I have actually maybe 20 or 30 that would actually be buys. Looking ahead for next week, I have like hundreds that I look at on a regular basis. So I like this one. Also, APH, also on my list. Again, kind of the same thing. A nice, strong stock, strong chart. It dropped on Friday like everything else and bounced up. So a continuation might be in order for this as well. Stochastic, sharp, straight drop. I like that. That to me is an entry point for me. But if the chart says so, this move quick down and it'll pop back up tells me that this buyers are in control, right? So let's see what happens. We got risk. I'm going to be risking down into this level here. Probably not much lower than that, frankly, because we got these highs back here where we would naturally see some support being generated. So I'm going to be a buyer into that range and then start taking profits up into this equal range, about 4 or 5%, up into highs as well would be my greedy target. hold a few, maybe see if this chart wants to keep running the way it's been running lately. Okay, so next, PDD. Okay, again, it's been doing the same thing here. Stochastic is nice and low. This to me is where we want to be looking. Where I'm looking to find an entry, of course, on this strong stock. Uh, see risk. See where we open on Monday, but I'm going to be a buyer into this range here. Frankly, I think I probably have to take it down into about here. In all reality, where we got this wick and some support. But I'm going to be a buyer into this range for sure, into this natural level of support where this green area is. I'd be looking to take profits up into this gap for sure, up into these levels, and then greedy target up here, and see, of course, if it wants to keep running from there. Just that's just gravy, right on top. All right, also VRT makes the cut here for me. Uh, Again, like a lot of these, finding some support and bouncing, really like that. Stochastic, nice and low, with a crossover and a push up, looking like a continuation for this one too. Might be the right move. See where we are on risk. It's pretty wide, 7-8%. I'd probably give it to about there, not too much more, maybe a little bit, maybe down to 8 or 9%. But again, the potential upside is pretty good too. Up into here would be 8%. Up into this range, 13, 14, 15 all-time highs could break 20%. So that's not out of the realm of possibilities from what I'm seeing here. So I like VRT. I like this company just in general, but it's looking like a buy for me. And finally, looking at ROBO. Okay, look at the chart. It's just been moving pretty much straight up. Found some support here on Friday and bounced, the gap down and push back up. Obviously a rejection and a wick, but this is one that meets my criteria. Stochastic is nice and low. Risk is pretty tight. I'd be a buyer down into this range here. It's only 3.5. I'm sorry, 2.5%, and looking for the move back up into these ranges, and be looking to hold and see if this thing wants to keep running. So that's what I got for the week ahead. Lots of opportunity on the big pullback and the bounce on Friday. Looking like buyers are in control, at least short term. See if we can capitalize on that. Happy trading.